What if I told you that over 80% of the seas remain unknown and uncharted? We send sonar pulses, drones, and submarines into the sea, but it still hides its secrets. Legends warn of great animals in the silent emptiness beyond light. Sailors for generations told stories of serpents longer than islands, animals so ancient they defy modernity, grotesque shapes that pulled ships down, and enticing tunes that enticed men overboard. Today, we'll investigate 7 legendary marine creatures that many people think aren't just fantasy. 7 Elran Maja. Our first name, Elran Maja, is not very well known. According to some legends, it is known as Elran Maja, or the Great Majá. According to legend, it is enormous. As long as 12 massive ships are put together, its rows of razor teeth wait for any stupid invader, and its eyes shine in the darkness like lamps. A man named Diego Alejandro once claimed to have seen it, according to historical stories of Spanish sailors from the 1500s. He spoke about a creature as long as 12 ships, with raft-sized fangs, an inky body, and luminous eyes. Even though his original story was destroyed in a fire, retellings of it have persisted throughout coastal settlements. Could there be some truth? It has been connected by some to the bloop, an odd, ultra-low frequency sound that was found in the Pacific Ocean decades ago. For a long time, people questioned whether something enormous and living was calling from the depths, but scientists later stated that it was caused by ice movements. A whale swallows islands, a shadow under a ship. Perhaps Elran Maja is merely a legend. Infinity, however, remains a source of speculation in oceans that have only recently been surveyed. 6. The Kraken. Now we sail into deeper waters and into one of the sea's oldest terrors. The Kraken is perhaps the most famous of all sea monsters, born from Norse sagas and sailors' fear. Large tentacles are said to emerge from the depths, coil around masts, and drag entire ships into the dark. According to some early authors, the beast had a body so large it could have been mistaken for an island, resembling a huge squid. One traditional story of sea animals so large they were mistaken for islands can be found in the King's Mirror from the 13th century. When approaching them, sailors would light fires and place flags, only to find out later that these islands were actually animals that abruptly sank. Scientists disregarded it as imagination until the discovery of the gigantic squid and its relative, the colossal squid, which can reach lengths of over 15 meters. These mysterious creatures had eyeballs the size of dinner plates and suckers packed with teeth. Imagine you're a sailor in the 1600s, stuck in a storm with your ship lurching violently as something brushes against the hull. A curling tentacle, slippery, pallid, and impossibly long, rises from the frothy sea. Wouldn't you call it a monster? In actuality, the Kraken may be a real species that has been misinterpreted due to fear and isolation. Many aspects of the gigantic squid's life are still unknown today. No one has ever seen one hunting in the wild. Storms, shadows, and the innate terror of the depths transformed these encounters into mythology. However, every time a new, huge squid washes up on shore, the murmurs return. Perhaps the Kraken still dwells somewhere beyond grasp. 5. The Sirens. The Sirens use singing to sink ships rather than tentacles or claws. Sirens were perilous creatures whose voices enticed sailors to perish in Greek mythology. They sang songs that no one could stop listening to while sitting on rocks. They were half bird and half lady. While his crew secured their wits with wax in their ears, Odysseus chained himself to the mast of his ship, according to Homer. What may give rise to such a mythology has long baffled scientists. Some speculate that sailors may have been puzzled by odd natural sounds, such as infrasound, which is the deep rumbling of waves and wind resonating through sea caverns. Some believe that early explorers mistakenly believed seal or whale noises to be voices. Some scientists believe the tale stems from natural acoustics, which are frightening sounds created by wind echoing across cliffs or caves, producing tones that like voices. Others point to dugongs and manatees, sea creatures whose shapes inspired early stories about mermaids when spotted from afar by lonely seafarers. But since it touches on a larger theme, the attraction of both beauty and destruction, the story continues. It's easy to imagine sirens still singing from beneath the waves, as wail sounds ricochet eerily through murky waters. And occasionally, when you hear the low groan of the sea in a quiet port, you almost believe that they're still there, singing gently beneath the waves. 4. The Loch Ness Monster. Despite being a freshwater lake, Nessie is regarded as one of the greatest maritime tales due to her notoriety. The tradition goes back to the 6th century, when St. Columba allegedly expelled a water beast that assaulted swimmers in the river Ness. However, Nessie finally caught the world's imagination in 1934, when a famous photograph depicted a long neck emerging from the sea. The image became iconic, but was eventually proved to be a hoax. However, the world didn't become fixated on it until the 20th century, when a fuzzy snapshot revealed a lengthy neck and humped back. Many people believe Nessie is a plesiosaur, a sea animal that lived after the dinosaurs died out. Some believe the sightings are due to big eels or even floating logs. Satellite scans and sophisticated sonar searches have generated inconclusive results. However, the tradition continues on because light rarely reaches the bottom of Loch Ness's murky waters. There is no solid proof, but Loch Ness is a deep, cold, and murky place. Light barely penetrates its depths. Anything could hide there. Maybe Nessie is real, or maybe she's a representation of our wish to think that unidentified things can still move beneath placid seas. 3. The Sea Eater. We now reach darker seas, into the mythology of the Sea Eater. Unlike the older tales, this one is modern, based on online folklore and horror stories. It is described as a giant creature, kilometers long, with 2 massive arms and a never-closing mouth. Water makes up a portion of its body, and its skin moves like liquid glass. According to others, it softly floats across the deepest reaches of the ocean, consuming everything from whales to submarines to entire currents. In some tales, the sea itself bends as it rises. The waves roll back, salt thickens the air. The world vanishes as it opens its mouth. Its skin is reported to be composed of water, and its limbs are covered in the remains of other sea creatures. When it surfaces, only a little portion of its body is visible, but it may still generate waves that flatten entire beaches. According to the principles of physics, a creature of this scale could not exist, of course, because of the pressure, energy, and biology involved. That's not the purpose, though. As a contemporary myth, the Sea Eater represents our mounting anxiety over beings that technology cannot see or control. The ocean is still large enough to feed our deep-rooted fear of the unknown, despite all the satellites and submarines. 2. The Megalodon. From myth to something undeniably real. Millions of years ago, the Megalodon, the largest shark ever discovered, dominated the oceans. It was almost 15 meters long, with jaws big enough to swallow an automobile and fangs the size of a human palm, according to fossil records. It hunted whales for millions of years and dominated ocean ecosystems before going extinct about 3.6 million years ago. However, many people believe that the Megalodon never actually died, but rather moved into the deep, where no humans have yet been. Videos and reports describe inexplicable whale bites or sonar readings that are too large to explain. Scientists refute these assertions, pointing out that a creature this enormous would leave unmistakable evidence: carcasses, teeth, and sonar traces. Nonetheless, the Megalodon tale lives on because it appeals to a basic instinct. We want to believe that something ancient and unstoppable is still out there, watching us from below. 1. Giant sea serpents. Lastly, we encounter the sea snake, one of humanity's greatest fears. Sailors have seen huge, snake-like monsters gliding barely below the surface from the tropics to the Norwegian shores. According to Viking legend, the Jormungandr, the world serpent, was so enormous that it surrounded the whole planet. Monsters so long they could rise like mountains from the water were described by medieval seafarers. Some researchers believe that these tales originated from sightings of oarfish, which are ribbon-shaped, serpentine-moving creatures that may grow to a length of almost 10 meters. Others point to whales that are feeding with their mouths wide, which could resemble a living island that is prepared to engulf ships in a sea of terror and fog. Sea animals that are mistaken for land are described in ancient stories such as the Aspidoshalone and Hafgufa. These creatures entice sailors to anchor, but once they set foot on their back, they sink them. One common truth is conveyed by these legends. We are afraid of things we cannot see, particularly when they move silently and undetected beneath us. From the shining eyes of Elran Maja to the crushing tentacles of the Kraken, from the singing of the Sirens to Nessie's shadow, from the impossibility of the sea eater to the ancient Megalodon, and lastly, to the unending coils of sea serpents, we have traversed ages of myth and conjecture. There used to be some of these animals. Others are the product of human imagination, fear, and dreams. The idea that the ocean is much larger, older, and stranger than we can really comprehend, however, is reflected in all of them. More of the moon has been mapped by us than the ocean floor. Who can tell what still swims unnoticed in the deepest tunnels, where light cannot reach and pressure may break steel?